As you are adding items to your New Year's resolution, one thing is to add more reading. And today I am joined by Aja Michael-Keller, who is the Director of Communications at the Allen County Public Library, to learn all about the newest books or trending books for the top of the year. Hi, good morning.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, okay, so I'm so excited. I always love when you come in with your options, and I know that you really source out these books, you ask other librarians, and so you got some good picks for us today.
Yes, I always get so excited to go ask our librarians what they're reading or what they're excited about reading, and they gave me some great suggestions. So we will dive in.
Yes, where should we start?
The first thing I thought we'd talk about are literally specific librarians who I love to go to them for what they're reading, what they're looking forward to, and so that's what these are. So this one is The Plan by Kendra Adachi, and this came to us from Susan Beyer, who's actually our executive director. She is she just got this one off her hold list, and this one is about time management. So going into the new year, we're all like trying to set goals and have, you know, ways of managing our stress. And this is using this acronym of PLAN, and it's to manage your time like a lazy genius.
Okay.
And I love that. It's about looking at things through the lens of what matters to you in your current situation, using the ideas of prepare, live, adjust, and notice.
Oh.
So we can be mindful about the way that we spend our time.
Right. I love this too because it looks really comprehensible. You know, it's not like a novel. Like it's very specific and like putting big quotes and making sure you have your checklist and all those things. So I love that.
Yeah, very applicable, very down to earth. So that one comes from Susan.
Okay, awesome.
This one's from me. I picked this up. I was at a conference, and so this is from a psychologist, psychiatrist, and he is speaking about parenting the new teen in the age of anxiety. So, yeah, we know we talk about my kids. My kid is a tween, you know, he's coming into those teen years, but this book I found so insightful about how the world is different now for these kids than it was for when I was a teenager. And I thought that was so helpful as a parent, as someone who loves so many young people in my life.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to not only did I get a lot out of this, but I gifted this to several family members and friends because I just found it so great. So that one's in our collection. Definitely grab that one if you or someone you love is trying to raise some teens in this world.
I love it. Oh, this is, okay, so Dr. John Duffy, but I love it says a complete guide to your child's stressed, depressed, expanded, amazing adolescence. Because all kids go through it.
Yeah. You know, it's a tough time, but we as parents, as the grown-ups in their lives, as aunts, as uncles, we can help them through that.
Yeah.
That's our job.
Awesome.
Some of the other ones here, suggestions. This one's from Meg. She always gives us a great suggestion for a romance book. This is a local author, Sophia Nye, Into the Ashes. It's a part of her series, and this is about a warrior who, he apparently rescues princesses all day, but this princess he rescues isn't as interested in him as most of the princesses are, and so he's he's intrigued by that. This one came to me from one of our librarians in our readers department, and they said this was top of the list for a lot of like book talk suggestions. And top best of 2024. This is Apprentice to the Villain. It's a romance fantasy, and it is about. She is the assistant to an evil overlord, and she is managing that world and also hoping to maybe become his apprentice and learn from him how to be an evil overlord.
Okay. Nice cover,
You know, we got something for everybody at the library.
Yes.
I also brought some book club picks because, you know, it's a great time to get together with your friends, start a little book club, and do it in the way that works for you. Maybe you do it just once a year. Maybe you give yourselves 3 months to read the book. Maybe you all listen to an audio book instead of reading the actual book. Whatever is going to work for your timeline and your life situation.
That's good.
But having that focus and working on a collective, sharing a collective story together, coming together, talking through that, you know, over a glass of wine, over a cup of coffee, and having that time together and delving into that story together can really refresh your soul.
Especially if you're trying to build community and want that connectivity. But I do have a question for you, Aja, because I've only checked out books one at a time, clearly. But if you're thinking about a book club, do you all have multiple editions of a book available?
We do.
I mean, multiple copies?
We do. We have multiple copies, and you know, each individual could check out their own. We, of course, host book clubs, lots of different book clubs, so you could join one of the libraries. And also we have a lot of digital versions of the books as well. So if you don't find it on the shelf, you could get the digital book if you're needing multiple copies as well.
Okay, great. So you have a top pick for a book club.
I do. I have several here. This one is The Frozen River. So this was a top of the list for book suggestions, and it is a mystery by Ariel Lawton, and there's a body that's been frozen in the river, and the main character is the local midwife, and she has to solve the mystery.
That's a
Drama
thick read.
ensues.
Yeah, that's a good read there.
I also brought this one, which is called Then Again by Jacqueline Johanna Garver. And this is a local author.
Oh.
And so this is her first novel, and all about a woman whose husband is they have a deep love, and he's in a terrible accident. He's in a coma. He's been there for about a year. And a love from the past kind of comes back to the surface, and she's grappling with, are you allowed to pursue another relationship when you are you had a loving, wonderful marriage, but that person is now in a coma. And so really interesting story and getting lots of book club buzz.
I love that it's a local artist. So she's out of Fort Wayne. So how does that work exactly? So I know that you all really support local artists. If someone is an author and they want their book in the library, do they just contact you and just provide copies or something?
Sure. We have a page on our website specifically for local authors. You can go onto our website, search for local authors, and you can submit for us to know about your book so we can purchase it. Usually we're in the know because we're pretty welcome. They keep in touch with us. But if we don't know about it, you can let us know. We love to add local authors to our collection. Also, we have a podcast, which is called Pages and Voices, and that is specifically to feature local authors.
Is that okay? Y'all started that last year, right?
We did. We just had our 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
So that's going really, really well. And we've had, we've had well over a dozen authors at this point come on and talk with us on the podcast.
I love it. So it's available everywhere people get their podcasts, Spotify, all of that.
All of those places.
And so what can people expect from it? So as they're listening, are you guys like reading excerpts from the book and then the author comes on to talk about it?
Yeah, we share a little excerpt, but mostly it's about talking with the author about their process, how it is that they came to write, what they do to prepare, and how they went about getting published, because it's really intended to help other authors, get their own works published. And they are authors of all types. And we have romance authors, horror authors, nonfiction authors on the podcast. And all of them have kind of made their own way in different ways. And really interesting. So definitely check that out. Pages and Voices.
And I see you have some cookbooks down here too.
I have this one, which I brought. It's actually not a cookbook. It's a photography book. But it is all different restaurateurs and farmers, people in the food industry here in Indiana. So telling their stories about the crops they grow, the animals they raise, and how that contributes to not just our local food economy, but nationally.
Nice.
So, very interesting, and you can learn a little bit about their stories, and I just love anything local. I think people don't realize just the beautiful and wonderful stories we have right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, any other that stands out to you?
I wanted to talk about this one, which is Really Loud Librarians. This is a book or a game. I always like to bring a board game. This one was newer on the shelves. I hadn't seen it before. Really Loud Librarians, and I brought it because it's a party game where you're shouting and you're using your
out of library voices.
Yeah, your all that knowledge that you have that is not really useful for anything except for games like that and trivia.
Yeah.
But mostly because libraries get this sort of, we have this reputation for being a place where you're going to get shushed, people tell you to be quiet. It's like a silent, sort of quiet, always stagnant place. And that is not the reality of the library. Certainly we have quiet places where you can study, where you can read quietly. But your local library is vibrant, it is buzzing, it's a place where you can come and meet people, take part in programs, and not worry about getting shushed. That is not the library of today. There's even a game about it, Really Loud Librarians.
I love that. And so you talked about the program. So I'm sure you all have so much going on this year.
Oh my gosh.
Aja, always. So share a little bit, or are the top things happening in the next couple of months?
We have so much going on. We just opened a new exhibit called Unwelcomed. I'd love for folks to come downtown, check that out. It's at the main library. You can check that out in the Great Hall. The Roland Center just opened a new exhibit about in celebration of Black History Month and MLK Day. It's all about colored troops and the contributions of Black soldiers during the Civil War.
Yeah.
We're going into Black History Month. We have a whole month of activities for that. So everything is just, the year is starting and we are ready to go.
Yeah.
Like we have programs all day, every day. Go online, acpl.info. You will find something that will interest you.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Aja.
Thanks for having
Appreciate you. And if you would like more information about the Allen County Public Library, well, guess what? We'll have their website listed below. Check out all of those programs that Aja spoke about. And if you don't have a membership, if you don't have your library card, get one. It's free and it's for the community. And I'll see you after the break.